we first meet a character in this movie by the name of Riddick. He was imprisoned on a lifeless world. He also has a severely hurt foot. That is the reason he was moving about. There were hostile aliens in this area that resembled wolves. They start assaulting Riddick all of a sudden. They were all sprinting towards Riddick's direction. To protect himself, he takes refuge in a water hole. He was breathing heavily. He awaited their departure. He emerges from the sea as soon as they go. He was there when one of the wolves suddenly charged at him. Riddick discards a piece of metal in an effort to survive. A wolf rushes to steal it from him. Following that, Riddick visits a cave and takes a short nap while reflecting about his wound. Now what should he do? The same cave also featured a pond, to which the same wolf had returned. There was water available for the wolf to drink. In the same pond there were a lot of harmful, deadly critters, who had snake-like features. There the wolf is killed. Riddick was also there hiding out and observed everything. To go to the path ahead, he had to cross this pond as well. That's why the aquatic monster noticed him as he started walking away softly. He begins to murder him. In order to protect himself from that terrifying thing, he hid among the stones. And from this point on, we are aware of Riddick's origin tale. On his own world, Riddick once called that location home. He assassinated the ruler of that region on his planet. In return, he was elevated to the position of king there. Nonetheless, Riddick used to remain anxious even after ascending to the throne, since he had a lot of opponents who desired to assassinate him and usurp his throne, because it was a local custom for whomever killed the king to become king. His life was always in risk because of this. His roommate made an attempt on his life once as well. Nevertheless, he was highly intelligent. After capturing her, he murdered her. Riddick was aware that Vaku, a guy, was responsible for everything, because he desired to succeed Riddick as king. Making an agreement with him. He promises to make you the monarch of his realm if you can show me the path to the Furia planet, actually. That location's map was finished. The only one who knew his route at the time was Vaku. He sends Riddick and his chosen individuals to Furia planet after accepting Riddick's comments. Yet after arriving, he discovers that this is not the Furia planet, but rather a desolate world with no signs of past human habitation. He realized that Vaku was using this as a trap. To murder Riddick, he dispatched his friends to this location. His friends all assault him. He was squabbling with them as well. And while he fights, he tumbles off the mountain. All of Vaku's friends now believe Riddick is dead, following. That everyone departs from that planet, so this was Riddick's journey to this planet's history. Let's look at Riddick, who was still there on Earth. He used to catch fish to eat and drink water from the pond. He had to continue expanding since he didn't want to remain here. He also kept a wolf pup close by, so he could take care of it and grow it as a pet, which would also be helpful to him, because he required a friend. Thus he gradually infuses both himself and that wolf with the venom of the deadly animals, in order for him to develop resistance to this toxin, meaning, if the creature attacks him, then this poison has no effect on him and no effect on his animals. Now Riddick goes to the same pond where the creatures were. He kills everyone one by one, and then leaves with his wolf. After that, we see the scene after a while where Riddick's wolf had grown up. One day his wolf brings him something like a ball. After seeing Riddick, he understood that there are also humans here. When he goes ahead on the same path, he sees a space station made by humans. When he goes inside and sees there was no human there, but he gets some food, and along with that he gets an article in which it was written about Riddick, in which it was written that whoever brings Riddick's cut head will be given a very big reward. After which he comes out of the space station. He sees that there were black clouds outside. It was going to rain, which was bad news for him. Now he comes back in and turns on the space station machine and scans himself through the machine. He sends a message to all the planets in the universe that he is here so that everyone knows that Riddick is here, because he knew that if he had to go out of this planet, he would have to call someone here for help. And he knew that by doing this, someone will definitely come there. And it also happens that after a while, a spaceship comes there. There were some people in it who were looking for Riddick, but not in good. That is, they did not come to save him, but they came here to kill him. After coming here, the leader of the spaceship closes his ship and takes out his running power nodes and puts them in a safe, and tells his companions to keep an eye on Hit. Rick knew that Riddick is very cunning. If he gets these nodes, he will run away with the spaceship from here, and because of his nodes, the spaceship runs. That's why he hid it. When they come to the space station, one of the special men of the leader reads a note there in which it was written that if you want to save your life, then leave a ship and go away from here. On the other side, their leader had imprisoned a girl on the ship. Here the leader tells his companions to set the girl free. When the girl starts running away from there, the leader shoots the girl from behind and kills her. Riddick was also watching all this. The leader says that I know, Riddick, you are watching me secretly. You will have to come in front of me, and without taking your head from here. I will not go empty-handed from here. Listening to the leader's words, his companions say that our leader is not doing right because he knew that Riddick is so cunning and dangerous, so he did not want to fight him. But they had to do all this for their leader. They also put big cameras near the space station so that they will know about Riddick. But after a while, they find out that another spaceship is coming here. Now, the leader did not want more people to come here because he wanted to kill Riddick alone. He wanted to get his reward himself. And here we find out that the leader was not sent by anyone else but Vaku, who was behind Riddick. But nothing like that happens. The ship also lands and stops near the space station. The name of this leader was John. There was also a girl who was with him who was his companion. John tells the leader that I will not come to your work. Do whatever you want, but let us do our work here. The leader was not the one to agree so easily. He was a selfish and greedy man. He also keeps the notes of John's spaceship in his safe so that no one can play tricks on him, and only after that he allows John to stay here. The leader always kept the keys to his safe around his neck. That night the camera was also broken. That the leader installed. It was damaged by Riddick and his wolves. The leader goes to check the camera with his companions, but John was stopping him. He says to look, don't go there. It is possible that all this is Riddick's trap. He must have laid a trap there. But the leader does not listen to John and goes away. As soon as he goes there, one of the leader's companions gets trapped and dies, and the other companion too. Then the leader sees that his third companion was also being pulled by Riddick and taken into the darkness. Seeing all this, the leader was very worried. There John also knows this, but as soon as he promised the leader that he would not come to his work, he was doing the same. But now the leader himself comes to John and asks for help. But he also misbehaves with his companion. In return, his companion punches the leader. John says, okay, I'm ready to help you, but you have to give me to Riddick for just one day. Then you can do whatever you want with him. It was clear that John had a different purpose of catching Riddick. After that, John first shoots at Riddick's wolf and puts a tracking device on it, because he knew that the wolf would go to Riddick. Now, following him, they reach Riddick, who was in a cave. There they see that he had hung the dead body of the leader's man. He just wanted to distract them, and John also understood this. These people were here, so Riddick had reached the space station there. Now they go there quickly, but even there they did not find Riddick. They understood that the safe in which they have kept the power nodes, he must have stolen it. But the leader was not ready to believe this. He says that all the time the key was in my neck. So how can this happen? Now he fearfully opens the safe and checks. But at the same time they also felt that maybe Riddick left a bomb in. But when the leader opens the safe, there were all the power nodes in it. But this time they leave it open. And on top of that, Riddick comes and steals them and hides them under the ground. When John finds out about this, he gets very angry. Now he says to call another ship by the radio, but due to the bad weather, he could not talk about it. But after a while, Riddick himself comes in front of them, who had thrown his weapons. He comes to them and says that give me a spaceship and take the power nodes. You have only a little time here, because it is going to rain. Saying this, Riddick leaves from there. When Riddick was leaving from there, the leader behind him tries to kill him. But then Riddick's wolf attacks him, which drops him down. The leader also threw the wolf far away. Seeing all this, Riddick comes to save his wolf. John's companion comes and shoots an unconscious injection on Riddick, and the leader also killed the wolf. They make Riddick their slave. After this, when he comes to his senses, he finds himself trapped in a space station, where John was sitting in front of him and was asking about his son. Here we know that when Riddick was trapped on this planet, the people who brought him here, John's son was also in them. But Riddick does not answer John and says that whatever is going to happen here, you should be afraid of it. John gives up and hands Riddick over to the leader. The leader was ready to cut his head with a big sword. As soon as he starts cutting Riddick's head, it started raining there, and the creatures that were hidden in the ground were coming out because of the water. Everyone was hearing strange voices in the space station. Everyone was scared. Seeing this, all the creatures there attack them. The creatures have killed their two companions. Seeing all this, John understood that Riddick can save them, because he has the notes with which the ship will run. He was going to open Riddick, but then the leader comes there, who was stopping him, but in the meantime, John had opened a chain on his foot. Then Riddick uses it to kill the leader and deals to John that I will give you the notes, but in return you will have to give me a ship. John had also agreed to all his words. Now they both go to the place after taking the bike where Riddick had hidden the notes. But on the way, John's bike breaks down. Now he sits with Riddick. They both reached the place where the power notes were. Riddick says while removing them, "John, I did not kill your son, but he wanted to kill so many people to save his life. He himself is dead, no one killed him." He was saying these things, and suddenly the leader's companion attacks him. Riddick had killed that man. That companion has damaged their bike as well. They had to go to the space station on foot. After that, many creatures had also come there who attacked them. Those creatures had attacked Riddick and injured him. That's why John takes power notes from him and goes alone. Riddick was standing there after bandage on his wounds, and alone he fights those creatures. But there was a very big creature was about to kill Riddick. But then the ship comes there, which starts attacking the creatures there. And this attack was done by John. John had brought the ship according to his promise. He had saved Riddick's life, and he gives that ship to him. Riddick had now come back to his planet. He first captures the Wackwand who had transported him to this world. The Riddick simply wanted to murder him at this point, so he puts a pistol to his head and inquires about Wakku, but he withholds any information. Riddick killed the man for this reason. Later, the man's wife informs Riddick that Wakku is the current monarch in this location. Now Riddick must locate Wakku. If he does, what will he do with the man? The movie tale closes with this moment of tension.